This is SportsCenter.
It's finally here. The Raptors flying higher than ever, hosting two-time defending champion the Warriors, Game 1 from Toronto. And the Matildas, they're feeling great about their Women's World Cup chances. We'll kick it around with them. And Australia's Cricket World Cup quest right around the corner, looking to make it 5 out of 6. SportsCenter is now.
I gave up candy, cookies and cream, Hershey's. You're talking Reese's, gummy worms.
Well, you gotta love Dre. Triple doubles or triple ice cream toppings. He's got them. Welcome into SportsCenter. I'm Mark Brown. The NBA Finals Game 1 on the way. It was an off day in Toronto yesterday. The Raptors have home court advantage as they attempted to dethrone the two-time defending champ Warriors. Raps making their finals debut, but have a former finals MVP in Kawhi Leonard to lead them. Kawhi won the title with San Antonio in 2014 and goes against the Splash Brothers, who will play without Kevin Durant at least through Game 1. Warriors' 9-day layoff potentially helps KD's recovery from the calf injury, but will it hurt his Golden State mates, who start the finals on the road for the first time in their 5-year run? Here's Steph.
This entire year has been, kind of wild for us, chasing the same goal, but doing it, with a lot of noise around us, and to be able to start, here in Toronto against a different opponent in our 5th, straight finals creates a great edge for us, and I like the energy that we're coming in with.
You have to come in these games confident and, know what you could do on the floor. We want to play defense. We want to stop the player in front of us.
The challenge with Kawhi is it doesn't look the same. Like, when Steph dominated a game, like Kevin dominated a game, it does not look the same as when Kawhi is dominating the game. And so it can fool you to just say we can just guard him this way, or we don't have to put too much focus into him because it doesn't look the same. It's not as pretty. But boy, is it effective.
We win some games when we're not even playing well because of our fans. But they're a big key, and thank God we got home court advantage because it's going to help us a ton, and hopefully we can protect it.
Well, Kawhi is scoring a ton on the Raptors' run to the finals, but are all the points the same? Of course not. Points of the clutch are tougher, and he's getting those. 48 of them in the first 3 series, third most in the last 20 postseasons. But the Warriors, they've got some clutch too.
Everybody knows that the Splash Brothers are the greatest shooting backcourt in NBA history. But let me show you how they complement each other from different spots. Let's start with Steph Curry. Even the world's greatest shooter is better in some places than others. Curry is most dangerous on the left side of the arc. Remember, on these charts, red means hot and larger hexagons mean more shots. This is Curry's favorite place to shoot, and it's no wonder why. The dude hits 49% from the left wing, and he hits over half of his threes from the left corner. Make no mistake, Curry is dangerous everywhere, but he's more efficient along the left side of the arc. Now let's look at Klay, who is more impactful from the right side of the court. Check this out. Thompson hits 46% of his shots from this zone along the right wing, and he makes over half of his shots from the right corner. That's ridiculous. Most NBA shooters make less than 40% of their shots from there. While Curry dominates the left side, Klay dominates the right, and together these two scored nearly 28 points per game from downtown in the Western Finals. In the regular season, they combined to hit 42% of their threes. That's a lot of splashes. If the Raptors have any chance in this series, they must control the Splash Brothers from beyond the arc.
Sydney native Josh Green is living out his dream. That much is clear. His decision to come to the United States as a teenager to hone his skills for college hoops and ultimately blaze his path to the NBA. He chose IMG Academy in Florida for preparation on and off the court. Here's Jay Harris with part 3 of his story, Born to Ball.
Remember, relax your head, relax your neck. Side edge of that left foot. Transition faster when you switch. He seems to be defensively challenged at times. This may be important. Get tighter there. Big chest, big chest, big chest, big chest. There you go. Use your arms, use your arms, use your arms, use your arms. Back up, and get your leg up high.
me being able to live with my teammates and, you know, training with them every single morning, you know, I think it not only makes me, but also my other teammates, you know, I think it makes us one step prepared.
And while Josh has grown his basketball skills, he's also grown into adulthood.
I think by being with the team, it helps us just be able to talk to each other and get the opportunity to, you know, to live by themselves and to just take care of themselves. You know, most other people have their parents taking care of them.
Traveling to road game tournaments is normal in the prep basketball world. And with their great record comes national media attention.
Josh, favorite Australian dish?
Meat pie.
Biggest adjustment academically since you arrived in the States?
Honestly, the work it's a little bit easier in Australia. It's a lot harder, especially math-wise.
Best subject in school?
English.
Last movie you watched?
The Bird Box on Netflix.
If you had a choice, game-winning shot from a three-point line, a block, or an assist, what would you take?
Whatever the team needs, but I'll probably take the shot. I feel pretty comfortable shooting the three.
If you couldn't play basketball, what sport would you play?
Australian football, definitely.
Why?
It's what I grew up doing, and I love it. It's just a great sport.
There it is, the Aussie, Josh Green, on the clock.
Even though their basketball schedule can be hectic, Josh still has time to be a teenager.
I like to be seen as a chill type of person off the court. I love playing the PlayStation. I love playing FIFA and 2K, I'd say. So does the rest of my team. So, you know, it's good. You know, I just like to stay happy, just enjoy life. And I like to be more humble type of person and keep to myself.
You can continue following Josh Green's journey, Born to Ball, with part 4 of our 5-part series on SportsCenter on our Wednesday edition here on ESPN from 8:30 a.m. That'll take you straight into Major League Baseball as the Braves battle the Pirates. The Cricket World Cup is upon us, with England and Wales hosting, and Australia in the final stages of prep for their opening round match at the County Ground in Bristol, where they will take on Afghanistan. We head to the UK, where Alexis Nunes and Michael Holding have a preview.
Australia face Afghanistan in their first matchup of this World Cup. Mikey Holding joining me for this one. Mikey, on paper, it looks like Australia definitely should get the job done in this one.
Yeah, on paper, but as you know, you go out onto the field, things can change. Afghanistan is a team that has surprised quite a few people. You know, they beat the West Indies twice in that lead-up tournament to see who would qualify for the World Cup. So I would not totally write them off. Obviously, Australia will be very confident. They have Warner back, they have Smith back, they have outstanding fast bowlers. Mitchell Stark will be swinging that ball around. Not that the white ball swings too much, but they have an outstanding team, so they should be big favourites. But Afghanistan will be going in there thinking they have a chance.
All right, thanks so much there to Mikey Holding. And as you see, cricket is played on the day and on the pitch, not on paper. So Australia will have to underestimate Afghanistan at their own peril.
With the FIFA Women's World Cup right around the corner, the Matildas also in Europe getting ready. They'll play a friendly this weekend against the reigning European champs, the Netherlands. The Matildas using this last hit out on Sunday in Eindhoven to prepare for their opening World Cup match versus Italy. That's June 9th. Here's how they're feeling.
I mean, we're going to win it, don't you think? This will more than likely be my very last one, so I hope we go out with a bang, and we've got the squad to do it. We just need to believe in ourselves and we can go a very long way.
Being a Matilda as opposed to the soccer, I think the women's game has grown so much and we're feeling that so much more than we ever have, especially this last year. And I think it really does feel like Australia is behind us for this World Cup. And, you know, I've got great friends and family who have supported me through thick and thin, and it's obviously really rewarding to finally get this World Cup spot. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to the Aussies getting behind us in France. I think it's a beautiful location on the world stage, and I can't wait.
The environment has been really positive. I'm super encouraged by it, and I think that 43 days together will be an absolute ball. We're going to have fun.
You must understand the way that we play. It's a very attacking style. You know, we want to dominate games, playing the opposition half, and we're brave. We want to play the football the Australian way, and you know, the girls have really taken to the style, and you know, I'm sure that this way will bring us the results that's required.
So let's take a look at Group C. The Matildas open against Italy on Sunday night. That's June 9th. As we said, Brazil and Jamaica round out the group. The Aussie women, well, they've been knocked out in the quarterfinals at the last 3 World Cups, twice by the eventual runner-ups. Next up, it's off to the Octagon. Swedish star Alex Gustafsson hopes to make the home fans smile this weekend as he takes on Anthony Smith in Stockholm. That and much more next on SportsCenter.
The judges are ready, and the fighters are ready. Make some noise if you are ready!
Known as a land of amorous affection, shall we say, Sweden takes a star turn in a more brutal direction as UFC Fight Night 153 center stage on Sunday with hometown boy Alexander Gustafsson headlining a light heavyweight battle with American Anthony Smith. Here's Phil Murphy with what to expect in Stockholm.
Thanks, Mark. The Octagon touches down in Stockholm for the 5th time this weekend. Alexander Gustafsson has been a part of 4 of them. Would have been all 5, but injury bumped him from a main event back in 2013, but I digress. His opponent this time, Anthony Smith. Both fighters lost to John Jones last time out. Smith, an American, has a propensity for finishing fights. Just 2 of his 31 wins came by way of decision. Both fighters spoke with our Ariel Helwani earlier this week. Alex first, what did you see in Anthony Smith as an opponent?
He comes really to fight, and he got some serious power in his hands. He rushes people, and well, he will be ready. He will be more than ready for this fight. This is his opportunity.
Kind of kicking it back to the old school. You just come in, take his soul, grab a bag of cash, and leave. And I perform better on the road. I always have. I don't mind fighting out of the country. I don't mind fighting far away from home because it's just solely about fighting. Like the media doesn't give a about me here. This is the Gus show.
Well, in fairness, Gus is 2-1 in Stockholm in the UFC, 4-1 overall. Smith does have more career fights and knockouts, though many of those on the lower regional scene. But the Swede, Alex the Mauler, will have a height and reach advantage. Gustafsson ranks 2nd in the light heavyweight division, Smith 4th. Both men, really everyone in the UFC in a sense, are looking up at John Jones, to whom both have lost title fights. Gus twice. If either's going to get another crack at Johnny Bones, Mark, a win this weekend in Sweden is an absolute necessity.
A crack at Bones Jones, you say, Phil? No, thank you on that one. Here's a look at the top 5 in the UFC light heavyweight rankings, as you said. These are guys who do want to crack at Jones. Daniel Cormier at the top of the list, with Alexander Gustafsson at number 2 and Smith at number 4. Also in Europe, just hours after the main card in Sweden, the Champions League final will take place in Spain. The 2019 edition features a uniquely English feel as 2 Premier League sides will do battle, with Tottenham looking to hoist Europe's biggest prize for the first time while Liverpool seeks their 6th. Here's the boys from FC in Madrid.
Not long now then until kick-off. Liverpool against Spurs here in Madrid. You couldn't ask for a better venue. Gab Marcotti and Stuart Robson alongside me. Boys, let's get straight to the crunch of it. What sort of game are you expecting?
Well, there's a whole bunch of question marks to which we'll know closer to game time. To me, one of the biggest calls, the biggest variable here is how will Tottenham approach this game. Right. You got the issue of whether Harry Kane starts, and if he does start, does he start him with Lucas Moura and Heung-min Son? You have the issue of the formation he's going to play. Yeah. He can play a 3, he can play a 4. So many permutations. With Liverpool, you know pretty much what you're going to get.
Gab's absolutely right. We know what Liverpool do, but Spurs have got so many options, and they've changed their options before games, in games. They had to do that against Ajax a couple of times. Again, do they play with a back 3, which didn't work in the game against Spurs? Because Ajax played with a front 3 who pressed the ball. That might be the case against Liverpool. So Pochettino's the man that's got to come up with the tactical answers. Does he play with wing-backs who get high up the field? You know I like mentioning wing-backs. And does he play with 2 up front? There's a lot of things that Spurs have got to do to try and make them win this game. How do they get the ball from back to front in the game against Ajax? They have to go from back to front along to get Llorente in the game. Not going to do that against Liverpool's 2 centre-backs.
So then, Mr. Marcotti, what's the score going to be?
I'm going to lean Liverpool on this one. I just think top to bottom, they're more of a team, more consistent. So I'm going to say Liverpool 3, Tottenham 1.
I'm going to go with Liverpool as well, but not quite as easy as that. 2-1.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Just a reminder, a lot of reaction to that big final this weekend on ESPN FC. Check your local listings for times.
Thanks, boys. To the ice, where the Blues made history in Game 2, winning their first ever game in the Stanley Cup Final. And they did it in Boston in dramatic fashion with the 3-2 overtime thriller as Carl Gunnarsson delivered the game winner 3:51 into the extra session. The best-of-7 series now moves to St. Louis for Games 3 and 4. And we go to Levy and Barry to break it down.
What happens now in the series, which is reduced to a best-of-5?
Well, everything becomes more important, of course. You're running out of time. Injuries become a bigger factor. Everyone's more tired and beat up now because this is the 4th round, basically playing, except for Boston, who had that long layoff every 2 days. And it's a war of attrition. We mention that all the time. Which team can handle this night after night, day after day, the practices, the games, the injuries, continue to play hard every night? That's what it is. It just becomes a giant test right now, and you find out so much about your team. And you really love them because they're playing so hard for you in that dressing room.
They are. Both teams.
And everybody is beat up, and everybody can't sleep at night because of the bones that are cracked and the muscles that are pulled. Yeah. So it's really a fun time to learn a lot about your club.
But you'll sleep just fine tonight.
I'll sleep just fine, man. I don't care. I don't have a team anymore.
Thoughts from Boston as we head to St. Louis for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final Saturday night.
All right, thanks, guys. You can see Game 3 of that Stanley Cup Final Sunday here on ESPN. Puck drops at 10 a.m. The Blues feeling good about stealing that overtime win in Boston in Game 2 series. Now going west to St. Louis for the next 2. The Blues have grabbed a home ice advantage for now. Still to come on SportsCenter, we move from the ice to the hardwood with Game 1 of the NBA Finals looming. Phil Murphy delves into the details of Steph's sharp shooting. Keep it here. We're coming right back.
All I do is win. The Golden State Warriors champions once again, back-to-back titles.
What we've been able to accomplish is something that not many players have been able to experience.
But you gonna have to try again next year.
We all want something that's bigger than ourselves.
We all got our eyes set on that three-peat. Nothing will deter us from that.
They say 3 is a magic number as Golden State goes for their 3rd consecutive NBA title. It's no secret they've done it by mastering the modern game of dominating behind the three-point line. Sure, it helps to have the greatest shooter of all time launching from deep, but it can't be that simple. Or can it? Phil Murphy explains.
Thanks, Mark. Well, you can't make life less complex. AHM at least makes health insurance simple, similar to how basketball can be made more simple. For the Warriors, it's increasing the percentage of a make ever so slightly for arguably the greatest shooter ever. His name's Steph Curry, and when he's off the ball, all he's doing is working to create space for simple, open looks. This is early in Game 4 Western Conference Finals against Portland. Curry's checked by Dame Lillard, sets a screen. Both Blazers follow Alfonso McKinney. Oops. Curry, simple 3 from the short corner, another look. We have live shot odds for Curry all the way up to 49% with an uncontested look. That's a coin flip for 3 points. Offensive efficiency of almost 150. Then late in Game 3, similarly, simple off-ball screen for Curry. Thanks, Iggy. Give me all 3 of these. See it again. Curry hits 47% from there. Draymond picks up his 10th dime. Warriors go up 3-0 on their way to a sweep. That guy's hard enough to defend when he's controlling the ball, but whoever is assigned Curry on the Raptors, be it Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, you have to communicate switches if you can't go through or over screens. All it takes is a split second of opening. For Curry, open threes are as simple as it gets. AHM, the simple bit.
Thank you, Phil. Steph gives the Raptors more buckets and beats than any other opponent. 15-2 and 28.6 points per game. His 36.5 points per game in the conference finals. Best in NBA history in a 4-game sweep. Riding a 5-game 30-plus point streak going into the finals. Only the Logo and Wilt have done that. So Steph is definitely coming in hot. That's going to do it for us. Nick and Freddie are coming up next. That'll take you right into NBA Countdown. Enjoy.
I wanna do is ball.
It's that time, man.
We've got to be quick, though. We've got a plane to catch.
We do have some good stuff for y'all, though.
Yeah, stick around. Ball or nothing. Nick.
Freddie.
Let's get into off-court because there was some huge news in the NBL.
Thank you for doing that. Are out there. Go ahead, RJ. What have you decided you're going to do?
Next year, I will be going overseas to play in the Australian Basketball League with the New Zealand Breakers.
Okay.
Way to stick it to the man, RJ. Number 5 recruit, number 2 point guard in the U.S. going to college, not going to college. This is great, man. Go make your money. Go do something different.
And the fact that he's chosen Australia, you know, Terence Ferguson also did this a couple of years back, played with the Adelaide 36ers. It just goes to show you how much the league has grown in stature. More NBA guys, scouts, everyone's paying attention to it.
They do.
So he's going to be out there. He's going to be playing in a country where they speak English, playing against grown men, you know, professionals.
Who a lot of them are at their prime.
Absolutely. So this could only help his growth, I believe.
Some things to consider. Yes, he's going to be playing against players that are at their prime, but there's a lot of implications for the NCAA and for the NBA and the NBL as well.
Shout out to Joey Ingles, who did come up through the NBL, South Dragons. We remember that, Joey.
Right on.
Let's hit the 3.
Warriors! Once again in the NBA Finals. An interesting little stat line, though. 31-1 they've gone without KD with Steph Curry on the court.
That is absolutely stupid.
Bruce Bowen went on record and said that they played better offense without Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I don't know about better offense. I think they just play a freer offense, if that makes sense. When KD's in the team, obviously he's the focal point. They run everything through him. When he's not with the team, they kind of play more like that 2015 Warriors team.
I do feel they played prettier without KD. That's just me.
I think a lot of people agree with you. Yeah.
However, this just goes to show that they're absolutely terrifying playing 2 different ways. With KD, they play one way. Without KD, they play awesome as well.
And one thing that I don't think people are sort of speaking about enough is the fact that KD's likely not going to play game 1.
Right.
DeMarcus Cousins is going to be maybe not playing. And the fact that these 2 all-star caliber players are not going to be playing and you're not even worried about it says a lot.
But holy cow, am I glad that the Raptors, or anybody not named the Cavaliers, are in the finals this year.
It's historic, though, isn't it?
First finals appearance for the Raptors.
And first international team in the NBA Finals, first finals games to be held outside of America. This is great. This is great for a global league like the NBA.
I'm just looking forward to like eating some poutine and like being like, hey. I'm just gonna use A for everything up in Canada.
I'm going oot.
Speaking about that plane that we're catching to Toronto after this, maybe we'll run into Drake there.
The official mascot of the Toronto Raptors.
The official global ambassador.
That's what they call him.
All right, official global ambassador. Steve Kerr's already preparing for the circus that's gonna surround the finals.
I'm not worried about Drake. I called him on his cell phone earlier, and
on your cell phone.
Lay now when you need. All right, this is
that was
how
a
you
great
know
dad joke, though.
Yeah,
I love
but
it.
that's how you know he's also a disciple of Greg Popovich, for that dry humor that you really either love or hate. Dude, I'm not mad at Drake.
Are you not mad at these antics?
I'm not mad. He's a global ambassador. So when you see his antics, such as rubbing Coach Nurse's shoulders, and
do you think it's a little bit extra, though? I think it's a little bit. I think he's going way over the top. Yeah.
Extra, yes. Wrong? No. So, like, why is Coach Bud getting mad about his antics?
He said it was disrespectful, right?
But he's not rubbing his shoulders, so what is
Maybe that's why he thought it was disrespectful.
I get it. Yeah, good point, man. Look, I will say it's annoying when he does go. That was, he rubbed his shoulders after the win. After the win, he's out there taking credit? Like, what?
Look around you. Look at this. We created this. This didn't exist before we were here. Look around at the square. I promise you right now, we did this. Doesn't matter what anybody says. They can say it's disrespectful. They can say it's this and that. Everybody's with it.
My guy, chill. You gotta chill.
I love Drake, man. I love Drake. But I don't think this is how much of a suffering sports fan he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that every city that makes it to the NBA Finals looks exactly
Well, he should
like
know that because 2 years ago he was a Golden State fan. 2 years before that he was a Miami Heat fan. So he should know all that.
Yo, Smash Mouth, out of all people, bands, entities, decided to get in on the beef. They're not fans of Drake.
Well, remember when Drake was beefing with Meek Mill?
Yeah.
He never responded to Meek Mill, so I don't think he's going to respond to Smash Mouth. So.
Yo, Drake, when the ball is in play, sit yo, you know what down. Yeah. Come on, man. That was kind of a whinge, but an even bigger whinge was with the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo did to our friend Malika Andrews.
For both of you guys, I'm curious, you guys have talked a lot about how at
this point, you know, sometimes it takes experience. I'm wondering if now that you have some of that experience, if you see more validity to that point, or what you think about that now that you've got it.
I'm sorry, this is funny, and I'll tell you why it's funny. Because you guys are misinterpreting everything, right?
Oh,
yeah,
how so?
This is just Greek for I'm going on vacation now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's like, it just loses a little bit in translation, that's all. So it's nothing.
Look, man,
I just love Chris Middleton. Because Chris Middleton, I thought, was giving him the okay to leave. He was like, yo, you know, you can go, I've got this.
Flashback Friday. Can you believe that we literally saw LeBron James go to the finals 8 years in a row?
This is ridiculous that we're not, 8 years in a row. Yeah. And even Draymond Green's a little bit, he said it's a bit of a mind bend, I guess.
It is. But is LeBron bugging? I don't think so.
He's out there living his best life, man. Shout out to him. He's earned the break. His body needs the break. 8 straight finals will do it to you.
Jam on this. Master P and Romeo just offered Zion Williamson a $20 million shoe deal.
Yeah, now it wouldn't be for an on-court shoe, it'd be for an off-court sneaker.
Man, they're really trying to get him hyped to come to New Orleans, right?
Facts.
But I'd forgotten, honestly, that they had their own shoe line. What's the name of it again?
Didn't even know they had a shoe deal. So.
Exactly. So maybe he's better off waiting to get a more legit shoe deal that'll do something for his branding.
With an actual company.
By the way, shout out Ja Morant, the number 2 overall NBA draft possible pick, is already signing shoe deals.
Yeah, he signed with Nike, and he had a great quote. He said, all my life, my parents worked for a check. Now I'm proud to say I work for the check.
Oh, boom! Yeah. We made it, mama.
Great double entendre, great wordplay. Shout out to you, young man.
I'm so happy for him,
Go get that check.
I'm also so happy. NBA Finals about to start. We're going to be there with episodes every single game.
Yep.
Major deal.
Yeah, it is indeed. So stick around to ESPN. Game 1 beginning at 10 a.m. I'm Nick.
I'm Freddie.
We'll see you soon.
All I wanna do is ball. When I walk up in the mall,